Ever wanted the Harley experience but don't have the budget? Here's the thing. Motorcycle shopping today gives you way more options than ever before. These 17 Japanese cruisers aren't trying to be Harleys, they're offering that same classic cruiser feel for thousands less with better dependability. If that sounds like your kind of smart shopping, you're in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed because we're about to save you some serious money. Let's get into it. Number 17. Honda Fury. The Fury is what happens when Honda decides to build a factory chopper, and they absolutely nailed it. This thing rocks a 1312cc liquid-cooled V-twin pushing around 50 to 60 horsepower with 79 foot-pounds of torque. Shaft drive keeps maintenance simple, and at 681 pounds with a 26.9-inch seat height, it's surprisingly manageable. You're looking at around $9,000, which gets you that radical chopper styling without the custom shop price tag or constant maintenance drama. Used examples from 2015 to 2024 run anywhere from $5,400 to $13,200. Honda reliability means this thing will cruise past 50,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Maintenance is straightforward. Oil changes every 4,000 miles, coolant service every 24,000 miles, and valve inspections every 12,000 miles. Compare that to custom Harley chopper builds that'll drain your wallet on the initial purchase and keep draining it at the shop. The Fury gives you show-stopping looks with Honda's legendary engineering, which means you're actually riding it instead of wrenching on it. That's the whole point of owning a bike, right? Kicking off at number 16, Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager. If you want a full-dress tourer without the Harley price tag, the Vulcan 1700 Voyager deserves your attention. This beast packs a 1700cc liquid-cooled V-twin, making 73 to 82 horsepower with 100 to 108 foot-pounds of torque. Belt drive at around 900 pounds, with a 28.7-inch seat height built for serious mile munching. The best thing? You're looking at around $8,100, which is $10,000 to $12,000 less than comparable Harley touring models. Used examples from 2017 to 2023 range from $5,500 to $14,000. This thing's built to exceed 100,000 miles with proper maintenance, which is insane longevity for a touring bike. Maintenance schedule is reasonable. Oil changes every 4,000 miles, coolant service every 2 years, and valve adjustments every 12,000 miles. You get hard saddlebags, cruise control, and all the touring features Harley charges a premium for, but with more power, better comfort, and Kawasaki reliability. You're getting better value and fewer trips to the shop, which means more time actually touring. Coming in at number 15, Honda VTX 1800. Honda built the VTX 1800 to compete directly with big displacement Harleys, and in most ways, it wins. 1795cc liquid-cooled V-twin cranking out 106 horsepower and 120 foot-pounds of torque. Shaft drive eliminates belt maintenance, weighs 718 pounds, with a 27.2-inch seat height that's accessible for most riders. Price-wise, you're looking at around $6,000, which is thousands less than comparable Harleys. Used models from 2004 to 2008 range from $2,300 to $13,000 depending on condition and mileage. This bike regularly exceeds 75,000 miles, and that's with Honda's smooth operation that makes Harley's Milwaukee 8 feel agricultural. Maintenance stays simple, oil changes every 4,000 miles, coolant service every 2 to 3 years, and valve adjustments every 12,000 miles. The VTX 1800 delivers massive torque and power while being smoother, more reliable, and significantly cheaper to own than anything Milwaukee builds. For riders who want substance over badges, the VTX 1800 makes a compelling argument that you don't need a Harley to own a legitimate heavyweight cruiser. At number 14, Yamaha V-Max. You know what's wild? Harley spends decades building their performance reputation on models that make maybe 100 horsepower if you're lucky. Then Yamaha drops the V-Max with 170 rear-wheel horsepower from a 1679cc V4. Not crank horsepower, rear wheel. That's after drivetrain losses. $14,400 new, or anywhere from $5,800 to $22,000 used, depending on what you're looking at. The thing is, people who buy V-Maxes actually ride them hard. 683 pounds feels planted when you're launching this thing, and shaft drive means you're not constantly adjusting chains. Oil every 3,000 miles is the price you pay for having this much power, but past 60,000 miles these motors keep pulling. Launch a V-Max against any stock Harley and it's embarrassing. We're talking superbike acceleration in a cruiser body. Yamaha didn't compromise. They just built what Harley claims to build but failed to actually delivers. Number 13 on the list, Honda VTX 1300. $3,797 average. Sometimes you find them for $800 if you're patient. That's the whole story right there. Everything else, the 1312cc motor, the shaft drive, the 90,000-mile reliability, that's just bonus. 678 pounds isn't intimidating. 74 horses moves it fine. The VTX 1300 exists for people who got tired of paying Harley prices and dealing with Harley problems. Oil every 4,000 miles, coolant when it needs it, ride it and forget about it. Some bikes you buy for image. This one you buy because you actually want to ride without the relationship being complicated. Honda built thousands of these, used markets full of them, and they're all still running because that's what Hondas do. At number 12, Yamaha V-Star 1300. The V-Star 1300 is still air-cooled in an era where everyone's chasing liquid cooling and electronics. 1304 cc's, 70 horsepower. $44 gets you in. Used ones hover around $3 to $7 grand depending on miles and condition. What's interesting is the maintenance intervals. Valves don't need touching until 15,000 miles. That's 50% longer than most Harleys. Oil every 4,000, belt checks at 10,000. Over 100,000 miles is normal for these bikes, not exceptional. The air cooling works fine because Yamaha actually engineered it properly instead of using it as a styling gimmick. You're not buying this for excitement, you're buying it because it's sensible, and you're tired of bikes that aren't. 668 pounds, low seat, fuel injection keeps it modern enough. It won't turn heads at bike night, but it also won't leave you stranded or broke. Number 11, Suzuki Boulevard C90. Suzuki did something clever with the C90's cooling system. It's air/oil cooled, pulling the best from both worlds. 1462 cc's making 66 horses and 85 foot-pounds. 723 pounds, with shaft drive keeping things maintenance-free. The motor stays cooler than pure air-cooled designs without the complexity of full liquid cooling. You're spending around $52, which undercuts Harley's touring cruisers by 10 to 12 grand. Used market from 2005 to 2015 ranges from 2,500 to 6,900. 100,000 miles is common, not bragging territory. Oil every 3,500 miles, valves at 12,000, coolant at 24,000. The hybrid cooling means fewer heat issues during summer riding compared to Harley's baking your legs. Suzuki engineered a smart solution to cruiser cooling problems and wrapped it in competent execution. Works better, costs less, lasts longer. That's the pitch. At number 10, Honda Shadow Aero 750. Let's talk about what new riders actually need. The Shadow Aero 750 sits at 25.9 inches, which means most people can flat-foot it. 553 pounds feels manageable in parking lots. 44 horsepower from a 745cc liquid-cooled V-twin isn't intimidating, it's appropriate. 5249 gets you a new rider's best friend. Used examples from 2005 to 2022 spread from 2,500 to 8,750. This bike teaches fundamentals without punishing mistakes. Shaft drive eliminates chain maintenance anxiety. 80,000 miles is typical before anything major needs attention. Honda built this specifically for people intimidated by bigger cruisers. Oil every 4,000 miles, coolant at 24,000, valves at 12,000. The Shadow Aero delivers that cruiser experience without the weight, power, or maintenance complexity that scares beginners away from motorcycling entirely. Harley's entry-level stuff costs more and weighs more while being less forgiving. The Shadow just makes sense for anyone starting out. Coming in at number 9, Suzuki Boulevard C50. 805 cc's liquid-cooled, 52 horses, 51 foot-pounds through shaft drive, 611 pounds at 27.6 inches. New MSRP for 2025 sits at $92.99, used from 2010 to 2023 runs $4,000 to $8,000. Suzuki undercuts Harley by thousands while delivering better reliability. 75,000 miles before major issues is standard. Oil every 3,500, valves at 12,000, coolant at 24. The C50 hits that sweet spot between mid-size affordability and full-size presence. It looks substantial without being heavy, costs reasonable without feeling cheap, and runs forever without constant shop visits. Harley charges more for comparable models that'll spend more time getting serviced. The Boulevard C50 just works. Liquid cooling keeps temperatures stable, shaft drive eliminates adjustment hassles, and Suzuki's engineering means fewer catastrophic failures. You're getting full-size cruiser comfort and styling. Pretty straightforward value proposition when you break it down. At number 8, Yamaha Roadstar 1600/1700. Yamaha built these between 2000 and 2010 with either 1602 or 1670 cc's of air-cooled V-twin. 62 to 75 horsepower depending on which version, 99 foot-pounds on the 1600 model. Belt drive, 743 pounds, 27.9-inch seat. Used market sits between $1,800 and $6,000, averaging around $36.65. 110,000 miles is achievable, which is absurd for an air-cooled motor this size. Oil every 3,500 miles. Valves at 15,000. Air filter at 8,000. The Roadstar competes directly with Harley's Softail in weight class and style, but surpasses it in longevity and torque delivery. Yamaha's precision engineering shows in how smooth this big twin runs compared to Milwaukee's offerings. 743 pounds of American-style cruiser with Japanese reliability. The Roadstar proves displacement isn't everything when the engineering behind it is actually competent. Harley charges 15 to 18 grand for comparable models that won't hit these mileage numbers. The Roadstar delivers heavyweight presence without heavyweight problems. Number 7 on the list, Suzuki Boulevard S40. Single-cylinder cruiser running 652 cc's air-cooled, making around 31 horses and 37 foot-pounds. 381 pounds, 27.6-inch seat, belt drive. $4,000 gets you in. Used from 2010 to 2023 ranges from 3 to 5 grand. Simplicity is the entire strategy here. One cylinder means fewer parts to break. 70,000 miles is normal because there's just not much to go wrong. Oil every 3,000 miles, air filter every 6,000, belt tension checks at 8,000. The S40 weighs less than most sport bikes while delivering cruiser styling and ergonomics. This isn't about power or prestige, it's about minimalist motorcycling that prioritizes durability over flash. One cylinder, air cooling, belt drive, done. Harley's smallest cruisers weigh twice as much and cost significantly more while being exponentially more complex. The S40 reduces motorcycling to its fundamental elements and proves that's often enough. At number 6, Honda Magna V45. Classic 1980s engineering that still holds up. 748cc liquid-cooled V4 making 81 horsepower and 48 foot-pounds through shaft drive. 540 pounds, 29.1-inch seat height. Used market from the 80s and 90s runs $1,500 to $6,000, averaging around $49.99. The V4 configuration delivers sport bike smoothness in a cruiser package. 90,000 miles is typical before major work, which is impressive for bikes this old. Oil every 3,500 miles. Coolant at 24,000, valves at 12,000. The Magna combines power and reliability in ways Harley's Sportster 1200 never achieved, despite costing fraction of what Sportsters command. You're buying 1980s Honda engineering, which means overbuilt and reliable. Sport bike performance wrapped in cruiser ergonomics for less than 5 grand. Harley doesn't have an answer to this combination. Number 5. Yamaha V-Star 650. 649cc's air-cooled, making 40 horses and 37 to 38 foot-pounds. Shaft drive, 514 pounds, 27.4-inch seat. 3189 opens the door. Used from 1998 to 2016 spreads from 1,000 to 6,600. 65,000 miles before concerns is reasonable for an entry-level cruiser. Oil every 3,500 miles. Valves at 10,000. The V-Star 650 targets riders who want retro styling without modern complications or costs. Shaft drive eliminates chain maintenance entirely, making this genuinely low-maintenance transportation. Yamaha keeps this model simple on purpose. No fancy electronics, no liquid cooling complexity, just proven air-cooled V-twin technology that works. Harley's entry cruisers cost more and weigh more while requiring more frequent service. The V-Star 650 delivers hassle-free ownership for riders who just want to ride without constantly wrenching or spending. Coming in at number 4, Kawasaki Vulcan 900. 903 cc's liquid-cooled, pushing 48 to 50 horses with 58 foot-pounds, 619 pounds, 26.8-inch seat height. 6641 average, used from 2006 to 2023, ranges from $500 to $14,600. New 2025 retail price sits at $98.99. 70,000 miles typical lifespan. Oil every 4,000, air filter at 12,000, belt checks at 10,000. The Vulcan 900 undercuts Harley's Street Glide, which costs over $22,000, by massive margins while delivering comparable comfort and better reliability. Classic cruiser proportions with Kawasaki engineering means fewer shop visits and lower ownership costs. You get belt drive smoothness, liquid cooling efficiency, and Japanese reliability for half what Milwaukee charges. At number 3, Honda Goldwing. 1833 cc's of liquid-cooled flat 6, making 125 horsepower and 121 to 125 foot-pounds. Shaft drive, around 800 pounds for tour models. 25,999, base for 2025, used 2023 to 2024, runs 22,500 to 29,000. 150,000 miles minimum, some pushing past 200,000. Oil every 8,000 miles, coolant every 4 years, valves at 18,000. Those intervals destroy anything in Harley's touring lineup. Electronic suspension, navigation, all the technology Harley charges extra for comes standard. The Goldwing isn't competing with Harley's, it's embarrassing them. Flat 6 smoothness, advanced electronics, comfort that redefines long-distance touring. Harley's Tourers cost similar money but won't touch these mileage numbers and lack the refinement Honda delivers. The Goldwing represents what happens when manufacturers prioritize engineering over heritage marketing. Number 2 on the list, Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. 942 cc's air-cooled, making 50 to 53 rear-wheel horsepower. 65 claimed. 59 foot-pounds through belt drive. 542 pounds, 27.2 inches. $88.99 gets you in. Used from 2014 to 2024, ranges 1,800 to 9,000 depending on condition and miles. 80,000 miles is achievable with proper care. Oil every 4,000, belt tension checks at 10,000. The Bolt R-Spec delivers authentic bobber styling and 51 miles per gallon efficiency, which is remarkable for an air-cooled 900cc twin. Compare that to Harley's Sportster, which costs more, weighs more, and drinks more fuel, while requiring more frequent maintenance. Yamaha specifically built the Bolt to undercut Harley's entry models while delivering superior value. Lighter weight makes it easier to handle, better fuel economy saves money at the pump, and lower ownership costs mean more riding and less stressing about repair bills. The R-Spec version adds premium touches like spoke wheels and upgraded suspension without inflating the price to Harley territory. For riders who value function over badges, the Bolt R-Spec makes the case that smart money goes Japanese. And finally, at number 1, Honda Rebel 500. 471 cc's liquid-cooled parallel twin, making 46 horses and 32 foot-pounds. Chain drive, 408 pounds, 27.2-inch seat. $64.99 MSRP for new models. Used from 2017 to 2024, spreads from 1,200 to 8,600, depending on year and condition. 80,000 miles expected lifespan. Oil every 4,000, chain lube every 600 miles. The Rebel 500 gets 67 miles per gallon while delivering genuine bobber style and surprising agility through city traffic and back roads. 408 pounds makes it manageable for any rider regardless of size or experience level. This is Honda's answer to entry-level cruisers, and it absolutely works. Lighter, more efficient, more reliable than anything Harley offers at this price point. The parallel twin configuration provides smooth power delivery without the complexity or maintenance demands of larger V-twins. Modern fuel injection ensures consistent starts and performance regardless of weather. The Rebel 500 proves you don't need to spend Harley money or accept Harley maintenance schedules to enjoy cruiser riding. For new riders or experienced ones looking for practical transportation, the Rebel delivers everything a cruiser should be without the constant repairs or prestige baggage. Look, nobody's saying Harleys are bad bikes, but pretending they're the only option or even the best value is just ignoring reality. These 17 Japanese cruisers deliver what most riders actually need: reliability, reasonable prices, and less time at the shop. The brand on the tank matters way less than whether you're actually riding or constantly fixing things. Which bike from this list would you actually buy with your own money? Or are you still convinced you need that Harley badge regardless of the cost? Drop a comment below and subscribe if you want more honest breakdowns that'll save you money instead of feeding you marketing nonsense. See you in the next video.